All right, let's return now to one of our top stories, the Justice Shivraj Patil report on what's gone wrong in the process of spectrum allocation. Well, now armed with the findings of the report, Kapil Sibal, the new telecom minister, says procedural mistakes started during the NDA regime. Joining us now to discuss this, Justice Shivraj Patil himself, whose report has been submitted to the government. We will also be joined by Dr. Abhishek Singhvi, the national spokesperson of the Congress and the Rajya Sabha MP, and also Chandan Mitra, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP. Justice Patil, if I can come to you first. Now, the government says that your report puts the onus on the NDA in terms of where there were procedural mistakes which first began in 2G spectrum allocation. Is that correct?
I must make it very clear that I do not wish to say anything more than what the report itself says. I have examined the position between 2001 to 2009, irrespective of which party government was in power. My concern was whether the procedures followed during this period, they were proper or not. If it may relate to any period, whether it is NDA or whether it is UPA, my point was, I have not specifically said this government or this government. I have only examined between 2001 to 2009. That's the reason, nothing like focusing on particular aspect. I have only examined, and I don't wish to say anything more than what the report says. You can look into the report now that it is made public.
Mr. Mitra, now the report does say since 2001, the internal procedures adopted by the Department of Telecommunications and Government have not been in tune with the extant policies and directions of the government. So in a sense, the NDA was also at fault. That's what it says. How do you respond to that, sir?
No, first of all, we haven't studied the report.
Sure.
Selectively, Mr. Kapil Sibal has read out excerpts which are obviously politically motivated excerpts. Now we need to study the report. But Justice Patil is entitled to his kind of findings. However, with all due respect to Justice Patil, I want to reiterate that such piecemeal inquiries will get nowhere. BJP has stated from the outset that we are willing to have the entire probe covered from 1999, or you want to start at 98, do that by all means. But let that probe happen through a JPC, where all political parties are represented and Parliament is sovereign. Please go ahead and have a proper probe, not this kind of piecemeal kind of a probe which will reveal nothing. A CBI inquiry here, a PSC inquiry somewhere else, and Justice Patil report. This is not going to get us anywhere. But have a probe, we'll answer every question.
But there is a probe. There's a CBI inquiry which is now taking place. So much has been done. Your demand for JPC remains. There's also the PAC which is looking into that. But sir, what it says is very important. It says that the NDA was also, in a sense, implicated. If this is a scam, and there's a doubt now, according to Kapil Sibal, that whether there was any loss of money, but it says very clearly, this report, that since 2001, even the NDA regime had made mistakes.
No, whatever I have understood of the report, as I told you, is true. I have not studied it, and therefore it would not really be proper for me to comment. But whatever I have understood, Justice Patil's report points out that the NDA, perhaps government in its decision making, deviated from some policy prescriptions that it itself laid down. Now, this is of an entirely different nature from what the open loot that Mr. Raja indulged in, by using some select parts of the policy which were never challenged by the Congress, and some of which were implemented, in fact, in the NDA period by the DMK ministers,
Okay.
Mr. Dayarazimaran.
All right,
they did all this.
Let me,
They
Mr.
followed,
Mitra, actually,
and now they say that there's a problem there.
Let me